gas blast traps diners under rubble and injures at least 32 people after Chinese restaurant and dance studio collapse. A Chinese restaurant was flattened after a huge gas explosion nearby left 32 people injured, including 2 seriously, with casualties buried under the rubble. Emergency services were scrambled to the scene of the blast in New Ferry, Merseyside, this evening, which demolished numerous buildings within a 50-meter radius. The explosion was heard across the region, including in Liverpool, and reportedly as far away as North Wales, with unconfirmed reports suggesting the destroyed buildings were a dance school, furniture shop and Chinese restaurant. One resident, Andrew Smith, who lives near the explosion site, said his initial thought was that the explosion was a terror attack. "I live a block up and the buildings have just been totally obliterated. Me and my girlfriend were just watching TV and heard a massive bang. I've never heard anything like it in my entire life. I panicked and went outside to see what it was. It was just devastation on a big scale," Mr. Smith, who was evacuated from his home, told the Liverpool Echo. A spokesman for North West Ambulance Service said. One patient with serious injuries has been taken to Aintree Hospital. A total of 32 walking wounded have been taken to Countess of Chester and Arrow Park hospitals. Rail worker Lewis Hopkins, 22, lives just outside New Ferry and headed to the scene when he heard the explosion. He said, "We heard a massive bang and the whole house shook. When we went outside, the whole street was out and we could see a plume of black smoke. When I got there, the whole building was just blown to pieces. The shops and houses nearby were completely smashed into pieces, and it had taken out other buildings nearby. There was debris everywhere. I saw 2 or 3 people trapped under the rubble, and a few people being carried on stretchers covered up. I do not know the full extent of it, but it didn't look very good. I hope no one is seriously injured, but unfortunately I definitely got the impression that could be the case. There are houses which back onto where it happened. A lot of people live round there, and it's a popular dog walking route too, so people could have been walking their dogs at that time. Everyone was really shocked, but everyone was brilliant. People made sure everything was safe, and everyone was okay before the emergency services arrived. It is right in the town center in the middle of the shopping area, so it is going to affect a lot of people." Owen Taylor, a conference and events host, lives in Port Sunlight Village, which backs onto the buildings which were caught up in the explosion. Owen, 18, said, "The explosion shook our house, it shook all the houses in the area. I just come home from Alton Towers and I heard an extremely loud bang from the house and came out to see what was going on. I wasn't really sure what it was, I thought it was a bomb. I saw police, ambulances and fire engines everywhere. I saw bricks on the floor, the roof of the building caved in and smoke in the air. There was debris everywhere. I think it's 2 buildings that have blown up. It looked like there was a body on the floor with paramedics around him. They were huddled over him, and the police were pushing us back. There is a helicopter circling overhead, and the National Grid have just arrived. They are evacuating all the houses around the area. There are 5 or 6 fire brigade, ambulances and 20 police cars here. A few people are quite upset as they don't know what's going on. There's a Chinese restaurant opposite that's exploded. Apparently there were 15 injured who were dining in the restaurant. People are searching the building now with torches. Police have set something up in the local civic center. It's a very calm village, like a model village, have a lot of elderly people who live here." A spokesman for Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service said. Several 2-story buildings over a 40-meter by 50-meter radius have collapsed as a result of an explosion caused by a suspected gas leak at the junction of Boundary Road and Bebington Road in New Ferry, the Wirral. The buildings are believed to be a row of shops, but there has been no confirmation of this yet. Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service currently have 4 appliances, and a special rescue team on the scene, and police and ambulance service are also in attendance.